We tune in another episode, WHCR 90.3 FM, late night New York. I know what it is. It's your boy King Haas in the building. And right now, I got to introduce the, the world renowned, underrated, imitated, but never duplicated. My guy, DJ Robbie Rob is in the building. What's good, brother?
Peace, family.
Peace, my
yes,
man.
Indeed. My brother.
Now, when I first met you, it was years ago on another station out in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Shout out to my man Jabril.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
It was I think Syfe G was there. Shout out to Syfe G.
Syfe G Buildings.
And Caucasian brother. I forget I think it was a Muggsy. Was it
Muggs.
Muggsy?
Mugshot.
Mugshot. Shout out to Mugshot also.
AKA Muggsy.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, you know what I mean, I'm an artist as well. So when it was time to freestyle, because you know a lot of OGs, they always say, man, you should be able to rap over anything.
Mm-hmm.
And you threw out a break beat from like 1982. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah, it might be earlier than that.
It might be earlier than that. It probably was earlier than that.
70s.
I'm like, had about like 70, at least 79, somewhere between that 78, 79 to 81. Cause I never got challenged like that before.
Right. So
I'm looking at, I think the cameraman was there also, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
The cameraman was there. And I'm looking at him like, yo, I ain't never riding over nothing like this. And he's like, yo, man, you better go ahead and do your thing, man. So it's kind of like, I'll be first to admit, I got tripped up that day.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me go back to the lab and kind of, you know what I mean, hone my craft a little better, because I wanted to be able to rhyme off of any type of track, no matter what you threw on or whatever. It could be Mozart. Mm-hmm. You throw it on, I'm going to go ahead and give you a hot 16 for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of, it challenged me in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me dip into, it made me have to be creative.
Yeah. With that being said,
and I appreciate it, but go ahead. I that's me showing you my appreciation or whatever. But
yeah, the origins of this culture that we call hip hop now, everything is off of the breakbeat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now a breakbeat it could be from a rock record,
mm-hmm.
It could be from a disco record, it could be from a funk
mm-hmm.
record, jazz, fusion record,
mm-hmm.
you know, even the blues. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So. How my origins of music, one of the origins is, of course, my family.
Mm-hmm.
Where should I take this? My Aunt Dorothy, may she rest in peace. You know, we used to have a lot of family gatherings, you know, whether it was at my mom's and pop's house or my grandmom's or one of my aunt's house. And my Aunt Dorothy, she was like what we would call party animal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever the music would be rocking, she went to all of the spots way back in the days, mm-hmm. from 371, which is a legendary club in the Bronx. That the original DJ Hollywood used to rock at.
Copy. Disco Fever.
The original Disco Fever, which is not too far. You know,
was it on Gun? Was that the one on Gun Hill?
No, that was if I'm not mistaken, Gun Hill. I was too young for that. That's the T Connection.
Copy.
But the original Disco Fever, that's where they filmed the movie Crush Groove. That's on 167th Street.
Copy.
And part of 50s movie Get Rich or Die Trying was filmed there.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
The original Disco Fever. You know, I mean, my aunt was at all of these spots, and you know, with the original Pete DJ Jones. Mm-hmm. I mean, we talking about real history. And I noticed when certain records would come on, I could remember, you know, this is no cap. Mm-hmm. I could remember as early as 4 and 5, where, you know, the record cats would be grooving and my aunt would be shouting, break, 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 it's coming.
Wow, all right.
And like, it's coming. Like, what are you talking about? And then the break is short for the breakdown.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
You know, where whatever was going on, horns or whatever, where you would just hear just the drums and the bass, or drums and horns, where you hear that part and a lot of people would just react and go off.
Dope.
You know what I mean? So, which later turned into the break
Beats.
You know what I mean? So, that always stuck with me from my aunt.
He just dropped a jewel on you. I wasn't.
She would just shout break, break, break. I was like, okay. And later on, when I was able to come outside and experience my first park jam, in '81, I was, a lot of things that people read about in books, or might have saw in certain documentaries, they never really got a chance to really witness a real.
You lived it.
Yeah, I was there. I might have been a shorty, but I experienced that. And, a lot of people are trying to recreate that vibe and that scene, but it'll never be the same.
You can't duplicate it.
Yeah.
Like for the younger audience, it's like how our stomping grounds is was the pyramid, SOBs, even BB Kings before they closed BB Kings down. With y'all,
wow,
y'all's was basically 23 Park, Cedar Park,
right? Cedar Park,
PAL over there on Webster,
183rd, on University in Tremont, Public School 82, the schoolyard. I mean, they built another school right next to it on University in Tremont, but that used to be like a supermarket, but we used to be in the schoolyard. That was a big place.
That was a big yard. That was a big yard.
And, a lot of cats will, mess things up with the fights, and then some people will pull out the hammers and let off, but cats used to rock there heavy, man. In basketball court, Cedric Projects on University, Undercliff, what we call the baseball field, which is a parking lot now. Even River Park Towers, shout out to DJ Spice, in the 80s, early 80s, you had DJ Spice. I mean, he's still around. We had so many different places. The Aqueduct on not too far, that's like right across the street from Bronx Community College.
Yeah.
Cats right on the side of the library, like going down the hill. Cats used to rock there. It was so many spots that we used to have fun. It was recreation. I mean, I couldn't stay out too late because of my age. My moms and pops would literally come and look for me. But I noticed like early in the day, if cats was able to set up, it was like recreation. It was, and we didn't call it hip hop back then. We like, yo, we gonna play some music, or we going to the jam, or cats gonna jam in the park. We didn't call it hip hop. It was like if cats wasn't in a swimming pool somewhere in the city, riding our bikes, playing ball, it's like cats would feel the urge, yo, we'll piece the equipment together. Yo, go get your pops amp. Yo, go get the records. Help me carry this. Help me carry that.
And then just rock out.
And we rock out. You know what I mean? It was recreation, literally. And nobody wasn't expecting this to morph into what it became now. Nobody was expecting, like, yo, I'm going to do this, and hopefully somebody come by in a limousine and say, hey, you kids, yeah, I'm going to give you a contract and we're going to make some money. We were just doing this just, for the sake of keeping out of trouble and keeping ourselves occupied.
So, break down, I know the difference, but, for the listeners and the people that's viewing online as well, break down the difference between hip-hop and the rap industry.
Yeah, hip hop is what we know it now. It's a way of life, man. It's the way you walk. It's the way you talk. You can't fake it. It got to be in you. As some people say, your vernacular, the way you pronounce certain words, and the way we come up with different what we call slang language. To always the oppressors won't know what you're talking about. We constantly flipping our language. And then. Once cats get too hip to it, it's like, all right, that word is getting old. We got to make them something else. Yeah. And it goes back to the days of the slave plantation where we got to speak in code. So they don't.
Geechee slang.
Yeah, Geechee slang. So the overseers and the slave masters won't know what we are doing next. Because even now in today's society, depending upon what you're into, especially if people work certain square jobs, it's not wrong with working a square job.
Nothing wrong with it.
If you want a square job and you could pay attention to a lot of the cats on the outside, hey, what you guys talking about? Hey, what's going on? And it's like, come on, man. Yeah. Come on, B. Like,
that's a fact.
Come on, man. This
same
A and B, A and B.
See yourself out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
See yourself out.
You know,
That's a
like
fact.
cats always got to know what brothers and sisters is talking about, and you know, even certain other unfortunately, a lot of melanated cats from different ethnic backgrounds. You know, a lot of cats have a colonizer mindset
That's a fact.
where, you know, they trying to get in to see what they can do to dismantle, and you know, I got to be in charge of y'all. I have to tell y'all what to do.
The overseer.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, cats is trying to figure out, how can I be cool like these cats? How can I, you know, emulate their energy, their aura, you know? And that it's not only with hip hop, it's been going on for so long, like rock and roll, jazz, blues,
Definitely.
country, bluegrass, disco, funk.
It always gets ripped from us.
Yeah. And there's a big pushback right now because this right here, everything that a lot of native black folks created, it took the world by storm. But hip hop is really different. It's like a tsunami and a tornado and a hurricane all in one shot. Right. And nobody expected, including the cats who was originally there from Jump Street, nobody knew that it was going to take the world by storm.
Be a worldwide
like this.
phenomenon. Literally a worldwide phenomenon.
Worldwide, you know, rock and roll is definitely became a worldwide phenomenon as well. But hip hop just did something
on a different spectrum.
Yeah,
Altogether.
Because
it was started by youth, and it literally was started from like how Tupac talks about the rose from the concrete.
Yeah,
to me, hip hop is that rose that came from the concrete. Literally,
it's a gift from God, I believe, man. You know, I believe it's a gift from God. You know, where a lot of cats in the Bronx. You know, I've been all through the Bronx, man. You know, I'm born and raised in the Bronx since the 70s, so I've seen a lot. You know, where, you know, a lot of people are trying to switch history, even in Harlem. Cats is trying to switch history. No, it went like this. It went no.
Glad we going there.
Nah, it didn't go. Nah, it didn't go like that. You know, and I see certain people now getting online, whether YouTube or other different types of social media outlets, and these cats are just saying, yeah, this happened like this, and this happened like that in the Bronx, and this person created this. Is like, nah, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. You know, where they're trying to erase
history,
and not only history, native black people's involvement. You know, this is a native black culture, you know, whether people want to admit it or not. And they know it is, but, you know, everybody trying to say, well, y'all only played this part in it. You know what I mean? It's just like rock and roll. Look at rock and roll and country music right now. The average cat, you know, whether it's someone your age or even younger, if you mention rock and roll or country, the first thing that comes to their mind is a white person with
Elvis and Willie Nelson
with a guitar. You know what I'm saying? And they think, that's white people stuff. No, it's all
us,
black people, native black people that was born in this country.
B.B. King, Little Richard.
Yeah, James Brown. If you look at James Brown and see, especially a lot of younger pictures of James Brown, you know, because a lot of people, you know, would laugh at black folks when they would say, I got Indian in my family. A lot of us are the native Indians of this land. If you look at James Brown, you know, facial features, you know, he's part of that, you know, that it's not just Cherokee, because a lot of people would just automatically, when you say Indian.
We are the Native Americans.
Yeah, we are. Yes, sir. You know, people would say Cherokee, but there's so many different tribes. You got Sioux, Apache,
Iroquois.
Yeah. Also, Creek, Shaka Khan. You know, I remember when she was performing with the group Rufus, when it was Rufus featuring Shaka Khan, where she would have on the quote-unquote Indian headdress. And they would say, oh, that's a nice little costume that you got. And she was like, nah, this is from my native tribe. Shaka Khan stated, yeah, I'm 100% native Blackfoot. You know what I mean? You got Blackfoot, you got Pontiac, like the car company. You know what I mean? It's so many tribes. The Mohicans, the Navajo. I mean, you know, we are part of a lot of these tribes, man. You know,
it's deep and profound. And nowadays, I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I was like, you know, I was pretty much telling them like, yo, it's no excuse because you have the internet as your resource to find out all this information.
Yeah.
Back at one time, you going off of this person word, that person word. You could look up the actual facts yourself and get all this information with this, with the phone that's right there in your hand. You don't even need a laptop. All you need to do is pull out your phone and go from there. So it's why is it, and without getting too political, why is it that you feel like, why is it that not just in hip hop but all of different genres of music, people, indigenous black people are constantly being left out the picture as far as like the contributions that were made to those different music genres. So in essence, the entertainment, game as a whole.
Well, it goes beyond music. I mean, even
definitely
everything that makes everybody's life easier in the world, so many great inventions, the air conditioning, the radiator, the traffic light, even something that people, all around the world eat as a snack, potato chips. It's black people. We created all that. Refrigeration for cats to move their cars and deliver frozen food. That's black people. We could go on and on. The maxi pad, GPS.
Literally.
So many things that everybody use is black people, and they know, we are a great people. A lot of people around the world, some people will try to play dumb, and they act like they don't know. A lot of them know more about us than we know about us.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? They know how great we are. So how do you conquer a people? You try to erase everything, about them. And, like the Men in Black, what was that thing? Look into this. Pew! You know what I'm saying? Let me erase your mind. Now read this. And, I'm going to get real deep. Let's get real deep for a moment. I don't know if y'all seen the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington.
I never seen that movie before.
All right, this is a jewel, deep. If you peep that movie, right? Long story short, not to spoil it for anybody, but Denzel was walking around. He was blind, and he was on a mission, to get the Bible out. If I'm not mistaken, he had to get the Bible out and rewrite it because a lot of the world was destroyed by nuclear weapons, and the dude who was like controlling a big part of the land where everybody wasn't destroyed, I forgot the villain's name, but they had to destroy all the books. And he said, I want all the books destroyed except for one book. And he said, I need that Bible because that book has so much power and I can rule and, convince people this is the way you should do this and do that. I need that book. I don't care about any other book. Burn and destroy all them other books.
You control religion. You control the masses.
Bingo. The Book of Eli, that's a jewel, and that's what they would want to do right now. And they're mad.
You had, not trying to cut you off, not to try to cut your wisdom off, you had, in slavery times, they would go ahead and, the same slave master that was raping you and doing all type of heinous stuff to you Saturday, Sunday, he's the preacher. And you know what I mean? He's telling you, well, God said this, God said that. Don't get me wrong, I believe in the Most High, but how people use God's word to manipulate them or whatever. So you had a whole generation of people, phrase that, thinking that God didn't like me because I'm black, or God didn't like me for this reason and that reason or whatever. So it's just kind of like when you control, when you could go ahead and use you could manipulate religion, then you could go ahead and control whole masses of people. Kind of similar with what's going on right now, but I don't want to get that deep. But it's that's where we at right now. So it's just like even with the music, okay, you have the public enemies of the world, and they're talking about fight the power. So even NWA at first they talking about bump the police,
right,
express yourself, but then out the blue, hey man, we don't want these younger generation of people waking up and getting knowledge of self and intellectual. So now we gotta change the narrative. Okay, we want to go this route. We want y'all to talk about clapping each other.
Yep.
That's code for the older folks. That's code for shooting each other and denigrating you know, your mothers and, you know, doing all type of stuff or whatever. So because hip hop is our generation's Bible in a way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, let's control this. We could control them.
Yeah.
So I say that to say that like you have a certain culture that's being perpetuated right now, but then you have another culture that's with dope artists that are putting out dope music, that's feel good music, that's just talented music, but they're not catering to that audience. They want to keep on dumbing you down with the same frequency, so that way they can go ahead and keep on controlling you, because they know that if you break the invisible chains, because those chains are invisible, then you gonna go ahead and cause this control. You got people in Japan that know that don't know English, but they can rap a Wu-Tang record from front to back. You got people all. I just saw a video online, right, of cause everybody knows what's going on in Palestine right now. I ain't gonna touch on it on this.
Oh yeah.
But it's a young kid that's 13 years old. Mind you, he's got bombed out buildings right behind him, and he's rhyming about his situation. To me, that's hip hop.
Yeah, and see, people see how powerful it is, man. You know, to touch on what you just stated, a lot of, you know, when hip hop really started gaining momentum, you know, the beginning of the golden era, I would say like 85, 86, you know, a lot of the 5%ers was helping to stir the pot, as some people would say. Like, a lot of hip hop culture is heavily influenced by the gods and earth, the 5% Nation, you know, with, you know, the B-boy stands, you know, even though other people saying that it came from them, it's like, that's the God is standing on his degrees, you know, and it's, you know, when a lot of people say certain things like, what are you talking about? And the industry, they was looking at first because they thought it was going to fizzle out, because a lot of these early records like MC Shan, The Bridge, you know, JVC Force, shout out to my man Cutmaster DC in Brooklyn with Brooklyn Rocks the Best. You know, a lot of those records, they didn't print up a lot of copies of those records.
No, they didn't.
You know, a lot of these records was 5,000 to 10,000 at a time. But when them joints started selling out everywhere in Harlem,
hotcakes.
And cats had to reprint those records. They was like, hold up. You know, even Profile Records.
They own something here.
Yeah, Run DMC started out on the independent label like Profile. Tommy Boy was independent. And they was like, hold up, all of these are going? 10,000 is going? Yeah, we got to reprint these up. You know, so they're like, hold up. So, and some of them started paying attention to it. So they was like, hold up, we got to suppress this, especially when Grand Poobah, who was part of the Masters of Ceremony, and they formed Brand Nubian, they was like, whoa, Poor Righteous Teachers, Native Tongue, you know, Lakim Shabazz and all that. They was like, whoa. So they was like, we got to get rid of this, as they called it, that gold rope, four-fingered ring God rap. Because they and, you know, Public Enemy, cats was dropping jewels, and especially when Public Enemy
Letter
started.
to the president.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Yeah. That was one of the illest openings of any song. I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it. Said that it was suckers. Crazy. You know what I mean? So they was like, and they saw when Public Enemy was picking up steam, you know, from the Apollo to other arenas. They're like, hold up, these are all our sons, daughters, nieces, and nephews. So they said, hold up, we got to stop.
We got to stop this.
You know, so shout out to Special Ed, you know, not to put, you know, Special Ed, he spoke some truth, but a lot of people took it the wrong way, you know, when he said that was the beginning of the destruction. You know, of course, NWA on the West Coast, they were, you know, telling their story on their side of the country, you know what I mean? And the record labels was like, yeah, this is what we're gonna push, and this is all we're gonna push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you got people like Rakim and dropping like he's for those who aren't old enough or whatever, go Google a song from Rakim called The Ghetto.
Oh yeah.
And the bars and the science that he's dropping in that song, like really listen to that song. Like you gotta listen to that song 2 or 3 times and really sit back and like he gave you a whole class in that particular song with what he's dropping and the knowledge and the jewels he's dropping or what have you, man. And it's like, nah, man, y'all learning too much. You can't have y'all doing that.
Yeah.
It's similar to like Malcolm and the Nation of Islam. Hold on, he's doing too much. Let's go ahead and get him out. Let's go ahead and separate him and Elijah or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why a lot of cats you don't see anymore. Once again, let's bring it back to Grand Poobah. Poobah was the guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, there's a reason why you don't see Poobah anymore. I think, shout out to the God Lord Jamar, I think he spoke about that one time. If you look on whether it was the All for One Brand Nubian album, even when Poobah went solo, who was the management? Rush Management. You could look if you got those copies, or you could look it up. They was managed by Rush, and the person who was in charge, the main guy, because Russell had his hands full with Def Jam, so he left Leo Cohen to navigate and handle a majority of the artists. Like if Cats wasn't on Def Jam, a lot of cats, in order to get certain shows and other different bookings elsewhere, Rush was the company to go to. So, when they saw Poobah was literally kicking doors in, Mary J. Blige, so many others, brand new heavies, and they're like, this dude is phenomenal. So Leo Cohen, they had to talk with Poobah, and they told him, yo, no more of this God rap. No more of this, the white man's the devil, the black man is God. No more of that. And they had to check on the table because Poobah, put Hilfiger on the map because Hilfiger got chewed out by a couple of cats. He tried to say Snoop Dogg. Shout out to Snoop. But they tried to say Snoop put Hilfiger on the map. I'm like, no, that was Poobah. Jabot's hanging back. He filled Hilfiger on the top. Because some people thought Poobah was from Brooklyn by the way he dressed. You know what I mean? But Poobah put Hilfiger on the map, and they was going to give Poobah that clothing line. And they was going to put Poobah on, what's that show on Channel 5? It used to be on Channel 5. Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They was going to give Poobah the world. But them like, no more of this God rap. No more. And Poobah was like, nah, I'm dedicated. This is my foundation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not turning my back on my...
He stood firm.
Yeah, he stood firm. And they said, oh, yeah?
Oh, we got something for you.
All right, we'll give you a little... we give you a little bit of treats, from the proceeds of this album that did very well, that 360. All right, cool. But, they started turning down the lights on them. And they said, okay, everybody else, come on. Poobah is not playing ball with us. The money that you made, cool. That's it.
That's it. That's over.
You know what I mean? Hope you're going to enjoy it. But, even...
I'm trying to cut you. Your wisdom... Yeah, I hope y'all paying attention because he's giving you insight of how this industry really works.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Said G.
You now tuning in WHCR 90.3 FM. WHCR 90.3 FM. We talk to my man DJ Rob, and we just going ahead and we just kicking in and we dropping jewels and we getting all this wisdom. Go ahead, man.
Even Said G. When he was promoting Tim Dog. When he had the F. Compton record, and Said G, he was shopping Tim Dog, and Tim Dog was Rough House Columbia Records, Sony 550 and all that. And they told Said G, like, yo, we got to check. We got to check on the table, but you got to make these type of records or it's a no-go. You're going to get lost in the shuffle and you ain't going to get this budget money to do this album and make money later on. So they kind of twisted both of their arms like, yo, come out with this type of music or you don't eat. Straight like that. So that's the name of the game, man. You either do what they say or you ain't going to eat.
They're going to kick you to the wayside. Simple as that.
Yeah, because there's so many people where...
That's willing to take your opportunity and willing to sign that check and do whatever they tell them to do.
and then some.
And some.
You know, they'll do
And
whatever.
we know what the then some is, but we ain't gonna get into all
Oh
that.
yeah.
You know,
But the main thing is all about controlling the people, and also trying to erase any type of major contributions and influence that a majority of the native black people have brought forth. You know what I mean? They don't want that, man, because they want to keep us, where we are a worthless people, which we far from.
Far from it.
We one of the richest elements on this planet Earth. You know what I mean? And the job is to keep the morale of the people down. If you keep us down, we're gonna push everybody ahead of you. And it's a magic trick. Like, hey, look at all these people. This person came from this place. This person came from that place. They only been here a year or two. It must be something wrong with y'all.
must be something wrong with y'all.
So y'all gotta be worthless. Mm-hmm. What are y'all known for doing? All y'all know how to do is smoke and drink. You know what I mean?
And that's it and nothing else.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, when you have these kind of people that we are dealing with or what have you, what do you tell the artists of today that nowadays, because of online presence, you don't need to sign to a major label? So will you tell an artist of any genre or today that wants to go ahead and put their music out there, but not have to deal with the restrictions of the major label?
Stay true to yourself and go what feels good, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these artists that's being pushed and shoved down everybody's throat right now, a lot of them, I know they don't really feel 100% good about the stuff that they're doing.
Facts.
But they like, it's either I do this or I'm not going to eat. I don't really know how to do anything else, so let me try to navigate through this and make some money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of cats may try to do something that they like doing, but they don't want to be like a Rhapsody. Like Rhapsody, she's getting her props, but she's not like, a household name. Like a Cardi B or what's Ice Spice.
But you know what it is? But Rhapsody, she still has her lane.
Right.
But she's still able to provide for herself and her family and do what she does. So, you might not be Cardi B, but guess what? You still gonna eat.
Right.
And you don't gotta deal with the stuff that Cardi gotta deal with.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I'm not, behind the scenes with the Cardi B's or Ice Spices or whatever, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of negativity that goes along and that they may not want to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And not only just the females, but even a lot of these dudes, they may not want to do it, because I'm seeing Meek Mill, he's starting to talk and say, look,
that's a fact.
This is what it is.
People starting to wake up.
Yeah, and they like, look, this ain't right, because a lot of the youth out there, some of the cats who don't have knowledge of self yet, some people come into their knowledge of self later on in life. But they're easy to be swayed, and this music is powerful. You know what I mean? It's very powerful. And, for years, like, I'm not even going to front. I used to think Ice Cube was the type of dude that whatever he rapped about, that's what it is. But a lot of these artists, they're actors. Mm-hmm.
They're entertainers.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing a part. They're not who you really think they are. You know what I'm saying? So the young cats on the outside looking in, they're going to model themselves after these artists, and they say, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And you
not
see
realizing it's way more deeper than that.
Yeah. Pushing the drugs, pop pills and,
sipping lean and all type of stuff.
And now I'm on demon time. Yeah. I'm fighting demons.
Not understanding like what they even speaking into existence behind saying that.
Yep.
So, before we fade out, because what we want to do, man, because I'm so, you got me so hyped up, man. I want to, like, do this semi-regularly where you just come and we just have conversations about the industry and you just keep on dropping your jewels and your wisdom, man. So, before we go, man, just drop some science on the people, on the people and, something for them to hold on to till next time.
Yeah, the main thing, man, just stay true to yourself. Go outside the box, because some people feel that, this is the end thing, and the end thing doesn't last long. Like
I don't.
you try to jump into that end thing pool, and that end thing starts to get a little worn out, and then you mastered that quote unquote end thing. And now it didn't pass,
don't want to hear it no more.
and now there's another end thing, and you lost. So you're like, what do I do? So just stay true to yourself, man, and create your own sound, your own vibe. I got a gang of stories. I've been in just about every record label that you could
And
possibly think of.
we ain't even scratched the surface on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we gonna go ahead and y'all gonna get, you know what I mean? We about to make this into like a mini series that just throw on YouTube, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for having me here.
Tell them
man.
where to follow you at and tell them where to find you.
On IG, strong_vinyl, like the record. VINYL. I'm a heavy vinyl junkie and addict, man. I've been doing this since the 80s, believe it or not. On Facebook, Robbie Rob, first name Rob, middle initial B, last name Rob, R-O-B, say it like LMNOP. On Twitter, or they call it X now, I guess. I'm Strong Vinyl on Twitter. I believe it's the same thing, strong_vinyl. I had to change my page, trying to get my other page back up on Twitter, or X, as they say, whatever that means now. And shout out to Fanbase. I'm about to see what's going on, see if I could get a page on Fanbase. That's Isaac Hayes' the legendary, iconic
Isaac Hayes the third.
Yeah, Isaac Hayes III. He got Fanbase popping, so I'm gonna see about getting up on that. Black owned. I believe it's black owned, but it's something to look into, man.
Y'all know what it is. It's your boy King Haas, WHCR 9.3 FM, late night New York. Robbie Rob, I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Let's work.
Peace.
My man.